Hello, fellow Americans. This is the Angry American again. Today I'm going to talk about something that really makes people mad, and that is the lack of legalization of marijuana. A lot of people understand, if they have half a brain in their head, that marijuana should be legal. Um, in my eyes, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Obviously, Colorado and Washington have already taken steps. They've already went the distance. Awesome. Thank you, Colorado. Thank you, Washington. You've led the way for the rest of the United States to stop being stupid assholes. Um, do I think that we're going to end up with a mass federalized legalization of marijuana anytime soon? No. Do I think most of the time it's going to end up being state by state for a while? Yes. With that in mind, why do I and why do most people who have a little bit of intelligence think that marijuana should be legal? Well, for a few reasons. Number one, as you know, in the United States, cancer is running rampant. It has been for years. Uh, my guess is that 98% of the people who watch this video have known somebody in their family or their friends that has had cancer. I also have known actually quite a few people who have had cancer. Um, one of the biggest things with cancer is you got to go through radiation or chemotherapy. From my personal experience with people around me that had cancer, mainly my brother, is when you go through radiation chemotherapy, you become horribly sick. Uh, and you don't want to eat. So the first thing they do is they give you a anti-nausea pill, and that's supposed to help everything. Supposed to. It doesn't. I can remember many days my brother going through chemotherapy, coming home, puking his guts out for hours. The anti-nausea pill didn't do shit. But the one thing that did help was marijuana. Yes, it was illegal. Oh, fucking well. Too bad. It not only helped with the nausea, it helped make him want to eat so he didn't lose weight as fast. Um, and it helped the pain. It's not really, it's kind of controversial on if marijuana has a pain relief idea in it, but what it does is it makes you forget about the pain, is from what I've understood. Now, that's my biggest reason. There's a lot more reasons. I mean, there's other illnesses. Fibromyalgia, if you've ever heard of that, from what I understand, it is like having arthritis in your muscles. Excruciating pain. Studies out there say that the biggest medicine that they can use for that is THC. THC, where is that from? Oh yeah, marijuana. So if we allow them to smoke marijuana, maybe they won't be in as much pain. Kind of common sense, dumbasses. I know there's a lot of people against legalization of marijuana. Yes, they will say, well, it is a starter drug. People who smoke marijuana will move on to the harder drugs. Will they? If marijuana is legal and you can buy it in a store, will they move on to the other drugs? Probably not. Why do people who smoke marijuana move on to the other drugs? Let's see. Because it's illegal, you have to go to a shady person to buy it from. Said shady person, 9 times out of 10, sells more than just marijuana. So, said shady person is going to say, okay, well, you're going to buy eighth of Dro. Well, I'll throw in a little sample of crystal meth with it. A little sample of cocaine. How did that person get hooked on the drugs? By the dealer, not by the marijuana. So take that right out of your mind. Throw it in the garbage. It's bullshit. The other thing that I have a problem with people saying it should not be legalized is, oh, it's just as bad for you as cigarettes. Bullshit. I smoke cigarettes every day. I know it's bad for me. Now, the CDC says that smoking marijuana can cause lung cancer. It can. Smoking anything can cause lung cancer. But, let's see. If you smoke marijuana, you're probably not going to smoke as much as you smoke cigarettes. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I can sit here in an hour and smoke 2 cigarettes. I don't know very many people who could sit in an hour and smoke 2 joints. Not to mention, it doesn't have half as many carcinogens in it, which are the things that cause lung cancer, as tobacco. So you can throw that one right out of your window. As for the reasons I think it should be legalized, there are so many, it's pitiful. Look at Colorado. Since Colorado has legalized marijuana and started collecting taxes on it, in January of 2014 alone, Colorado collected $3.4 million in taxes. Now, people probably wondering, wow, there's a lot of people smoking in Colorado. Not really. They figure only about 12.5% of the population in Colorado smokes marijuana on a regular basis. The difference is the average price of a controlled ounce of weed. Yes, it's a lot higher. It's about $185 an ounce. It's a lot higher than street value for the same type of weed. Now, if you figure it out, and the United States as a whole legalized it, you take the 12.5% times the population of the United States, which I believe is right around 138 million people, and then you take the fact that Colorado's figuring each person in Colorado smokes about 3.83 ounces a year, okay, if they smoke. So you multiply that, by the other number, then you end up with how many ounces each person, all the people in the United States smoke. Times that by $185, you end up with a huge number. Way in the multiple billions of dollars. Yes, billions. Then you take the 15% tax. If the United States did the same way Colorado does, and you end up with $1.6 billion throughout the United States in 1 year. 1 fucking year. $1.6 billion of taxes? Wow. I mean, if you take that into effect, and you add some other facts into there, like the fact that there's 6,200 people in federal prison for marijuana. On an average. That's how many people get put in federal prison each year. With an average sentence of 3 years, okay? And it costs the taxpayers $28,000 a year per prisoner. When you multiply all those, you end up with $520 million. That's how much we pay to house prisoners for marijuana. Now, will all that go away? No, because there will be still some stupid asses trying to make money under the books and trying to smuggle it in from Mexico or from wherever. But if we didn't consider that people would still be doing stupid shit like that, and we take the national deficit right now, which is $17 trillion, it would take 8 years to make that in marijuana taxes alone. 8 years for us to make up for the national deficit. And we still haven't done this. Why? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because people still say it's bad for you. People still say it's going to cause deaths. All this fun stuff. Well, let me tell you, the CDC says that 88,000 people, on an average, die from alcohol-related accidents, injuries, alcohol poisoning each year. 88,000. Then you get those people who say, well, marijuana is just as bad as alcohol. Okay. Show me the facts. Because I'll tell you what the facts are. In the last 3 years. 3 years. So if we take 88,000, or let's just take 80,000 times 3 years. That's 270,000 people died in 3 years from alcohol. Roughly. Okay? Well, we're going to have to remove a lot of those zeros because there's only been 27 deaths from marijuana in 3 years. 27. Double digits. Not to mention the fact that, okay, we all know, and we're probably all sure it's all bullshit to start with, that the United States keeps on talking about global warming. Because of the ozone, all this bullshit, we're cutting down all the trees, not enough oxygen's being made, blah, 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 blah. Well, do you know what would be the other good thing about legalizing marijuana? You're going to have all these huge marijuana farms. There's going to be. And there's going to be all throughout the states. One tree takes 20 years, on an average, to mature to be able to make the most oxygen it can produce from CO2 in photosynthesis. I'm not going to take you back to science class, but that's 20 years to be able to make the most of it. One marijuana plant, 3 months. You might say, well, the marijuana plant's a lot smaller. Yeah, it is. It's also a lot better at creating oxygen. One marijuana plant will create as much oxygen in 1 month. One mature, marijuana plant. Create as much oxygen in 1 month as one mature tree. Now, you can plant the marijuana a lot closer to each other. Yes, you're going to cut it down and replant. But guess what? It's still going to make more oxygen. Therefore, making the world better if this global warming bullshit is really true. So, as you see, this whole idea that marijuana is bad, we shouldn't do marijuana, marijuana shouldn't be legalized, it's going to lead to bad things, it causes death, there's no real value in it. Where are you people getting your fucking ideas from? Okay, so all I ask you, American public, is get your head out of your asses, fix the fucking mistake that was made years and years ago, because if it was never made illegal, what do you think the national deficit would be? I don't think it would be zero, but I definitely don't think it'd be $17 trillion. By now, they would have taxed that marijuana so much that it'd cost you $250 an ounce. Well, that's all for me today. See you next time, Angry Americans. And we might have a nice little treat for you. Angry American's wife has agreed to do a couple of these videos also. Good luck on that one. Peace. Have fun.